Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 and the pitfuturestrading.com. Coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, January 29th. We're looking at the last couple of days of the market profile of the SPY ETF on Window Trader. Very interesting day today. Very interesting day. So let's get to it. Gapped higher. Gap filled an A period. They totally flushed an A and B, only to come back and do a tremendous amount of business, battling in and out of yesterday's range for a good part of the day. Have a price spike at 2 o'clock when the Fed makes their announcement, only to come right back in, get below the open and never see it again, and one time frame down the rest of the day, and almost go out with a price probe to the downside, as the bell basically saved that from happening. Very interesting. We got back into the trend day from Friday, never got up to the afternoon rally high, but got up just to about its settlement. The way the market was acting prior to the Fed, it was almost like they knew something, the way they kept hanging around the upper end of the range at that time. And then when they spiked, thought maybe, okay, here we go. We're going to get back into Friday's range. But boy, that was short-lived. And then, now, this flush out, I believe, happened for two reasons. Yesterday, we never really had an inventory adjustment to the downside. We were long all day. Overnight was long. And A period was long. And then finally, I think that A-B flush out was just inventory adjustment. Week longs getting out. As far as my trades today, I made a nice call play on the opening, like I said I would. Turned out to be nice. Then I got myself in a lot of heat. I had said in the video I would look for F's high to hold to maybe take another call. If not, we should go down to POC and then test the afternoon pullback low. Well, that's exactly what it did when it failed. The only thing is I started a long position. Now, I didn't start it big, right below F. Then I added on at POC, and then I really added on at the afternoon pullback low for two reasons. Value was overlapping to higher, and I had the single prints underneath. So if those singles had gotten filled and value had gotten dragged to unchanged, I would have been out of the trade. Wrote it back up. It was basically a trade where I broke even because I started way too early. So I was red on it, but nothing big compared to what I was at the low when I loaded up. So it was poor timing on my part. I either should have shorted it below F because I said this is where we're going, or if I didn't want to short it because we had higher value, I should have waited till it got to the afternoon pullback low prior to getting long. And that would have been a very nice trade. Okay. Then I shorted D for a scalp. I think it was D. I shorted a couple of times in here as we couldn't get back to the opening, and I did not think we had a huge initial balance. I was actually surprised we came all the way back the way we did and got as close as we did to the opening. So I did a couple of short plays. I'm not sure if they were D or F or D and H, but they turned out to work out nicely. I did do one long in L for a short period of time that worked. And then I basically watched M. I was actually looking to short M once I realized it was getting no traction back to the upside, but it never really gave me much back to do it, and I watched. And as we're speaking here in N period, we just took out the day's low. Now, that doesn't matter for me because our day ends in M, but N did take out the day's low. All right, let's go over destinations. So right now, for tomorrow on the upside, so we closed at 326.62. So again, your destinations are kind of far and wide apart. On the upside, our first one isn't until 10 wide at 327.86. So $1.24 away for the first one on the upside. Then we have nothing till today's high of 328.63. And if we're able to take that out, then you have 329.26 was the afternoon rally high from the 24th. For the downside, we have today's low of 326.40. Then we have the single prints from yesterday, 326.23, get filled at 325.49. Then yesterday's low of 324.55. 324.51, 10 wide from the 27th, and then 322.66 daily low. So again, we're getting voids on both sides. So whichever side decides to take this market over, you're going to get some traction and some action at some point. Now, chart-wise, and here's the thing, two things that are a little disturbing. First off, the monthly with 2 days to go. Nice and healthy, one time framing up, should be for 3 months with the gap holding. Now, do we have excess at the high? Possibly, right? We got up to just 332.95, 333. You know, we're $6.50 off the high, which occurred not too long ago. So that's one little area for me on the longer term for concern, although it's still healthy one time framing up with the gap. Weekly. Here's the concerns coming on the weekly and daily. So I'm calling this imbalance. We actually got above that trend line that we got below for the first time since August. I'm sorry, we weren't even below it in August, but we got below it since I put it in there. Got up to it, but failed so far. And the daily, same thing. So this goes, I started this one from October all the way to today. We never got through it, right? We bounced off it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're below it 3 days. We actually touched it, barely got above it, and closed pretty well below it. So that's something that you have to keep in mind here. Did we fail? I mean, the Fed basically said what we knew they were going to say. No change in the rates, really no change going forward as of now. The market digested that news in the 2 and 2:30 time frame. Now, 2 o'clock time frame, I wasn't surprised. The volume was, but 2:30, both those time frames, the volume was horrible. And they usually pick up. But lo and behold, the 3 o'clock time frame did very, very good volume after the press conference ended. Obviously, the buyers, the bulls were not thrilled. Maybe they were expecting something else, and sold this market off. But here's the main area of concern for me right now. Is this trend line on both the daily and the weekly. If the bulls don't get above it at some point, we are going to start testing those lows again, and we're going to get in back down to that 322 level. And then at some point, we're going to visit Mr. 50-day moving average if they don't turn it around. I hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.